بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضاه. إخوتي في الله، نواصل من حيث توقفنا. We're going to continue where we reached. بعد مراجعة يسيرة, and to review a little bit. إخوتي في الله, الله سبحانه وتعالى قال وراودته التي هو في بيتها عن نفسه. And the woman that he was in her house, she tried to seduce him. وغلقت الأبواب. However, is this غلق? We said that is exaggeration. Exaggeration in what? غلقت الأبواب. نعم يا حمزة. Number of doors. There's a number of doors that she locked. قالت حيث لا قال معاذ الله. ما معنى الاستعاذة؟ نحن نقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق. قل أعوذ برب الناس. ما معنى هذه العبادة؟ الاستعاذة. ما معنى الأعوذ؟ من يجيب؟ Next time, what does this mean? أعوذ بالله. What does it mean أعوذ بالله? عندك يا نوفل. What does it mean to seek refuge? What does that mean? No, to flee. It means to flee and seek protection from something that's going to harm you to someone who's going to protect you from it. وهو عبادة على اللسان وفي القلب. It's an ibadah that's on your tongue and in your heart. And in your heart. ما معنى قوله تعالى when Yusuf said معاذ الله إنه ربي. ما معنى إنه ربي؟ نعم يا عبد الفتاح. إنه ربي. Who is he referring to? Yusuf عليه الصلاة والسلام. Sorry? Right. He is my master, I mean her husband. It's my master. أحسن مثواي. He's honored me in my clothing, my food, and where I stay. And have a khiyana. That's disloyal. So he reminded her and reminded himself. Then he said, إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الظَّالِمُ. The wrongdoers, they're not successful. Me and you. You're not going to be successful. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا. She desired him. وَهَمَّ بِهَا. And Yusuf, he also desired. لَوْلَا أَرَّأَى بُرْهَانَ رَبِّي. If it wasn't for that he saw the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَاسْتَبَقَ الْبَابَ. Both of them, they raced to the door. Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam literally fled from her. He got up and he ran. He literally got up and he ran. فَأَلْفَيَا سَيِّدَهَا لَدَى الْبَابِ. But when she grabbed his shirt from behind, she actually grabbed it to the point that she ripped it. And they found her husband at the door. He came through the door. Do you think he found it strange that all the doors were locked? He found that strange. All these doors locked. When this happened, ذهب عنها الشهوة كلها. All of the shahwa and desires ran away from her. قالت ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك سوءا. What is the reward for someone who wants for your wife evil? There's something in Arabic, equity fillah, called قوة الضمير, the power of the pronoun. You use it to convey your message. So just imagine, barakallahu fiqh, if you came to your door and you knocked on your door and your daughter didn't answer the door. What's more attention to her? That you say, she says, who? You say, Abdul Hakim. Or you say, Abuki. When you say Abuki, how many Abdul Hakims are there in the world? It's a lot. When you say Abuki, that key, that has a meaning to her. This is your father. And this is what she's doing. ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك. ليس يريدني سوء بأهلك. He wants for you evil. And this is found in the book of Allah, كثيرا. قوة الضمير. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يا أيها الناس إن كنتم في شك من دين فلا أعبد الذين تعبدون من دون الله فلا أعبد الذين تعبدون من دون الله ولكن أعبد الله الذي يتوفاكم. ما قال الذي يتوفاني. أنا أعبد الله الذي يتوفاكم. I worship Allah, the one that causes you to die. Like I fear the one that causes you to die. Why you don't fear him? It's only Allah that he said that يتوفاني. How do you call that قوة الضمير. You call that قوة الضمير. You use the pronoun. So sometimes the speaker, when he's giving a khutbah, he has to take this into advantage. Sometimes he's going to say singular. What's wrong with you that you don't fear Allah? Sometimes if it's something that's just very embarrassing, he's going to say, what's wrong with us? We need. Nah. Sometimes he's going to make it general. You all have to fear Allah. He's going to use the pronoun accordingly. But he's the khatib, and he's not trying to reach their ears. Where's he aiming when he speaks? He's trying to reach the people's hearts. Nah. Whatever the mere she's using to free himself, from blame, and to raise his ghayr, to raise his jealousy. ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك سوءا إلا أن يسجن أو عذاب أليم. Except, what's the reward of somebody that wants for your wife evil? Except that he's going to be punished or that he has a painful punishment. As we mentioned yesterday, this is like Ishara ilayhi. She suggested to him, don't kill him, because these kind of things lead to murder. Al-Fadiha, it leads to murder. And we reiterate that this thing that unfortunately even the Muslims fall into is boyfriend, girlfriend, it leads to first-degree murder. Now that's what it leads to. And many people are in jail today because of some unworthy woman. And many people are buried in their graves today because of some unworthy woman. Well, how many innocent women? A man is married, he might have an affair and haram with a woman, and his wife has no idea. So the girlfriend comes and kills the wife. She doesn't even know. She doesn't even know, because that leads to murder. Let alone all the other things that come. It's not worth mentioning. لكن هذا سيئة من كبائر الذنوب. This husband, as we mentioned, he lacked غيرة. For him to believe in every day and leave Yusuf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ شُدَّهُ. He's a grown man. He's a grown man now. And he's a handsome man. Do you think that the husband recognizes he's a handsome man? The beauty that Yusuf had? Yeah, he recognizes it. But he's deficient of this characteristic of ghayra. Ghayra is not translated correctly as jealousy. But barakallahu fikum, it means that somebody doesn't want to share something that's specifically for him. It's a ghadab. It's a specific type of anger. When something is shared as specifically for you, you don't want anybody to touch this. It's not just for women. Somebody has lighter for their deen. It comes in the hadith of Mughayr bin Shu'bah أن سعد بن عبادة قال لو وجدت رجلا مع امرأتي لضربته بالسيف غير مصفح. If I found somebody with my woman, I would hit him with the sword, not the sign of it. I'm making it clear. I'm going to hit it with the sharp part, making it clear. فبلغ ذلك النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. That news, what Sa'd said, it reached the Prophet. قال تعجبون من غيرة سعد. Are you surprised at this غيرة that Sa'd has? والله لأنا أغير. والله أغير مني. I swear by Allah, I have more غيرة than that. And Allah has more غيرة than me. That's Mahmoud. A man has to have this kind of غيرة. He doesn't want anybody with his wife. Doesn't want anybody to hear his wife. Doesn't want anybody to see his wife as ghayr. No. Wala ifrat, wala tafrit. It's not for him to go overboard in it either. No. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول كما جاء من حديث أبي هريرة إن الله يغار وغيرة الله أن يأتي المؤمن ما حرم الله عليه. Allah yaghar. Allah has his ghayr. Wallah yaghar, when the believer goes to what Allah has made haram. So what does ghayr mean? I mean, ta'atuk li, your obedience is for me. You're following other than me? Yaghar. Allah gets upset. Yaghar. Our ta'ah, our istislam, our submission is for Allah. If he sees us submitting to other than him, yaghar. This is what ghayr means. Should we call it jealousy? Allah. Na'am. Like in it's a ghadab, that's something is shared that's specific, not to be shared. جاء عن عائشة رضي الله عنها أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال يا أمة محمد لا أحد أغير من الله أن يرى عبده أو أمته تزني. Nobody has more ghayra, is more jealous than Allah to see his male servant or his female servant fornicate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like your obedience is for me. Your submission is for me. You have to obey me to follow your desires. Allah yaghar. وجاء من حديث أسمع أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا شيء أغير من الله. There's nothing has more غير من Allah. لا شيء أغير من Allah. Nothing has more غير من Allah. All of these things, they show the importance of what we mentioned yesterday of al-hijab. فما معنى الحجاب يا أبا صفوان؟ ما هو الحجاب؟ إيش هذا الحجاب؟ إيش لونه؟ وش لون الحجاب؟ إيش حجاب يا أبا صفوان؟ لا يا Mahdi, hijab. When you hear about hijab, what do you think of? What color is it? What do you think of hijab? What comes in your head when you hear this word hijab? And the Ahmed, what comes in your head when you hear hijab? Na'am. He said, a veil, a cover. This is what we want to wash from our brains. Wash that away today. Wash that out of your head. When you hear the word hijab, it's a barrier between the men and the women. It's a barrier. We have to understand that. That's what a hijab is. But if the woman goes outside, then that's a different story. She has to wear this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about Maryam, فَاتَّخَذَتْ مِن دُونِهِمْ حِجَابًا. She went away. She took an area specifically for her. That she found Jibril inside her hijab, inside her home, inside her shelter where she wants to be in seclusion. Ya Umar, you with me? Na'am. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُنَّ مَتَاعًا فَاسْأَلُوهُنَّ مِنْ وَرَاءِ hijab. Behind it. If you ask a woman for something, ask them from behind a door, behind a curtain. Na'am. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala قال في كتابه الكريم وَنَادَى أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ أَصْحَابَ النَّارِ. The people of Jannah, they call the people of the hellfire. And قَدْ وَجَدْنَا مَا وَعَدَنَا رَبُّنَا حَقًّا. We found what our Lord promised us true. فَهَلْ وَجَدْتُمْ مَا وَعَدَ رَبُّكُمْ حَقًّا. Did you find what your Lord promised you true? قَالُوا نَعَمْ فَأَذَّنَ مُؤَذِّنٌ بَيْنَهُمْ أَلَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الظَّالِمِينَ الذين يصدون عن سبيل الله وهم بالآخرة كافرون. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَبَيْنَهُمَا حِجَابٌ. وَبَيْنَهُمَا حِجَابٌ. Between the people of the hellfire and the people of Jannah is a hijab. وَعَلَى الْأَعْرَافِ رِجَالٌ. On top of this hijab, on the top of it is some men that haven't been decided whether they're in the hellfire or they're in Jannah. That's what we have sort of A'raf. They're on top of this hijab. You think this hijab, somebody can sneak from the hellfire and go in the back and get through the Jannah? No, it's a barrier. It's a barrier. So when the ayat of hijab came down, as we mentioned before, we have to look what happened to the mu'amala of the Muslims when the ayat of hijab came down. There was no more ikhtilat. Ikhtilat became haram. And the women started to cover their faces. Now, so this khalwa here is not suitable. No. Yusuf being alone with this woman is not suitable. This khalwa is not suitable. We're going to continue where we left off. Before that, في باب الغيرة, it comes from the hadith of Sahal ibn Sa'ad, or comes also in hadith Anas. The lafz that's in hadith Anas, أن رجلا اطلع في بعد حجر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. A man, he looked in some of the rooms of the Prophet in his house from outside. He looked in. فقام إليه بمشخص. The Prophet stood to him with an arrow. قال أنس فكأني أنظر إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يختله حتى يختله ليطعنه. As if I could see the Prophet sneaking up around him, stick him, stab him, sneaking up around him. في رواية in the narration that's on Sa'ad ibn Sa'ad, قال أن رجلا اطلع في جحر في جحر في بعد في باب النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Allah, a man looked in the crack. جحر في باب النبي, the door was cracked open. He looked through the crack of the door of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. وفي يد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بدرا. The Prophet had a pick. Can you رجل شعره? Because he had a little metal pick scratching his head. He was combing his head with it. فقال لو أعلم أنك تنظر لطعنت به في عينك. I knew that you was looking in my house. I'll poke this in your eye. نبينا محمد الذي أرسل رحمة للعالمين, our Prophet Muhammad that was sent as a mercy to the world. This is what he says when it comes to his women. When it comes to his women. بل جاء عن أبي هريرة أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لقد رأيتني وأنا نائم في الجنة. I saw when I was sleeping, I was in Jannah. فإذا امرأة تتوضأ بجانب قصر. There was a woman in Jannah, she was making wudu next to a palace. فقلت لمن هذا? I said, who did this palace belong to? قالوا لعمر ibn al-Khattab. I said it was for Umar ibn al-Khattab. قال ذكرت غيرته فوليت مدبرا. I remembered his jealousy, so I fled. I went away. I ran away from the house. قال عمر وجعل يبكي أعليك أغار يا رسول الله. Umar started يبكي في المجلس, in the sitting, started crying and said, I'm going to be jealous from you. And that was matlub. That's what the Prophet wants him to be jealous from him. Now the Prophet left. Now this is Jannah. It's Jannah. لا خوف ولا شيء. ولا بد الرجال ما يخلون. Don't fall short in that. And it's also for the woman not to try a man in his ghayr. Don't say you're not a man. Woman doesn't say my ex-husband was better than that. Don't do that. That's a low blow. That's not fair. No, that's not suitable. Same thing with a man. You knock on the brother's door, say, is Ahmed there? No, he's not here. Where'd he go? When he's coming back? What time did he leave? Like, yeah, okay, he's not there. He's not there. That's it. Nobody push anybody on his leg. Nobody can handle that. It makes him upset. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to continue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَالَ نِسْوَةٌ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ. Let's remember what the man said to Yusuf. Yusuf أَعْرِضْ عَنْ هَذَا. What does that mean? Ya Abdullah. Yusuf أَعْرِضْ عَنْ هَذَا. وَاسْتَغْفِرِي لِذَنْبِكِ. What is telling Yusuf? أَعْرِضْ عَنْ هَذَا. عندك يا طارق. Keep this secret. Don't tell anybody. This is the first thing this man says when he finds that his wife It's in the fadiha that she has betrayed him. He doesn't speak to her first. He speaks to the one who's innocent. Keep this low. What kind of man? He's deficient. And he's the problem in this whole thing. He's the problem. Yusuf added an hada. واستغفري لذنبك. And we mentioned, he didn't say استغفري الله. استغفري لذنبك. إنك كنت من الخاطئين. You're the ones that are wrong. You're the one that's wrong. ما شاء الله عليك. ما شاء الله يا رجل. نعم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says after that. وقال نسوة في المدينة امرأة العزيز تراود فتاها عن نفسه. The news got out. The news got out. A group of women, they said the wife of the Aziz is seducing Fataha. We asked this before. Ma ma'na Fataha? Turawidu Fataha. Ma ma'na Fataha? What's your name, akhi? Zakaria. MashaAllah. Turawidu Fataha. Ma ma'na Fataha? Fataha. عندك يا منير. I'm sorry? No. Her slave. Her slave. Fatah means slave. No. Fatah means slave. Ghulam means slave. No. And we're going to come up. It's going to come. وَدَخَلَ مَعَهُ السِّجْنَ فَتَيَانِ. Yani two slaves just like him. Ya Abdul Rahman, you with me? Two slaves just like him. They did something wrong to this master, just like this claim that Musa did. That's why they're all slaves. No. Imra'atul Azizi turawidu fataha an nafsi. Like she's the wife of the Aziz, and she's seducing her slave and talking about her. No. قد شغفها حبه. And she has reached this level in her heart. Yani the love she has penetrated her heart. إنا لنراها في ضلال مبين. We see that she's clearly astray. That she loves her slave and she's trying to seduce him. And they're talking about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلَمَّا سَمِعَتْ بِمَكْرِهِنَّ. When she heard that they're talking about أَرْسَلَتْ إِلَيْهِنَّ. She invited them over to eat. وَأَعْتَدَتْ لَهُنَّ مُتَّكَعًا. She prepared for them some food. وَآتَتْ كُلَّ وَاحِدَةٍ مِّنْهُنَّ سِكِّينًا. And she gave every one of them a knife. وَقَالَتْ أُخْرُجْ عَلَيْهِنَّ. She said to Yusuf, go out amongst these women. She's still with Yusuf after her husband found out all this information. وَقَالَ يُوسُف أَعْرِضْ عَنْ هَذَا وَاسْتَغْفِرِي لِذَنبِكِ. The man went out again and left Yusuf with his wife. Ayu Rajul does this. Who does this? She's still with him. And she still commanded him, go this, get that. Go out to them. Go out to them. She just wants to she just wants to put them to test. فلما رأينه أكبرنه وقطعن أيديهن وقلن حاشا لله ما هذا بشر إن هذا إلا ملك كريم. When they saw him, they exalted him. So beautiful. وقطعن أيديهن. She gave all of them a knife. All of them cut their hands. And they said, we swear by Allah, this is not a human being. This is an angel from the Malaika. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in his book, وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ وَيَحْفَظُوا فُرُوجَهُمْ ذَلِكَ أَزْكَى لَهُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا يَصْنَعُونَ وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ. Na'am. Allah commands the men to lower their gaze and protect their private parts, and He commands the women with the same thing. A woman has to lower her gaze. Jamal al-rajul fitna lil-mar'a. The beauty of a man is a fitna for a woman. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded with that. And there's a connection with protecting your eyes and protecting your private parts. نعم يا إخوتي في الله. For a woman has to lower her gaze. فذلك it's a major mistake that somebody would bring in their bedroom a TV. You bring this in your bedroom, in your home. In the home, it's bad. Not permissible. In your bedroom. Imagine a man sitting down with his wife and they're watching. There's a man on the screen, mashallah, his chest is out. His chest is, mashallah, his stomach is cut up. He has money. He gets on a plane, he comes back. He's dodging bullets like that. You know. And she's looking at, look at this monkey I got over here next to me. And then on this stuff with on the next scene, there's a woman, she's in control. You know, she has a car, she has a gun, she can shoot. She get on a plane, she come back. He's like, look at this bag of potatoes I got over here. Now, both of them secretly depreciate the other because they're looking at something that's not real. They're looking at something that's not real, and they depreciate. He don't even give me no money. She don't even cook well. You know, and they just depreciate one another. Have to lower your gaze. Don't bring that into your home. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says after that. After they said, In hadha illa malakun kareem, this is only a malak, honorable malak from the malaika. قالت فذلكن الذي لمتنني فيه فذلكن. We have this is an issue in language. ما قالت فذلك قال فذلكن. Later on in the story, it goes ذلكما مما علمني ربي ذلكما. And another surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قال كذلك قال ربك. Sometimes it's ذلك, sometimes it's ذلك, sometimes it's ذلكم, sometimes it's ذلكما. But here we have ذلكن. Why does it change here, Muzaffar? Okay, man. What's changing? What does it mean? Who's going to answer? Na'am Ra Hamza. Hi, it was a pronoun. Why is it changing? Ahsan. Allah yubarik feek. Na'am. Dhalika is to point at one thing. But depending on who you're talking to, that's what you make the pronoun. So if you're talking to one man, you say dhalika. If you're talking to a woman, I'm talking to this, I'm pointing at this. You're talking to a man, you say dhalika ma. That's water. If you're talking to a woman, you say dhaliki ma. Talking to a woman, I'm still pointing at this thing. I'm talking to two people, I say dhalikuma ma. Dhalikuma ma. I'm talking to two people. Now she's talking to women. قال فذلكن التي ذلك يعني that's Yusuf. نعم. ذلكن الذي لمتنني فيه. This is the one you was blaming me about. You just cut your hands. All she wants to do is prove her point. Like I fell into the haram, but look why. And she's beyond that. That is shameful. She wants to just prove her point why she fell in it. Nah. فَذَلِكُنَّ الَّذِي لَمْتُنَّنِي فِيهِ. This is what you all were blaming me about. Look at what she says after that. وَلَقَدْ رَاوَدتُّهُ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ فَاسْتَعْجَلَ. She admitted it in front of everybody. لَقَدْ رَاوَدتُّهُ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ. I tried to introduce him from himself. فَاسْتَعْجَلَ. He was firm. And this is why Yusuf has to go to prison. She told the whole world. They were trying to cover it up. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Let it be rumors. Nobody knows. And it was going like that. Everything was going good. Now she said it out loud. Now they have to say like, well, Yusuf, his kameez was torn in the front. He has to go to prison. They already knew that he didn't do it. But she made it look so bad. He has to go to prison. She let everybody know. She told right in front, just to prove to them why she was wrong. Yeah. وَلَقَدْ رَاوَدتُّهُ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ فَاسْتَعْصَمَ. I tried to seduce him against himself, but he was firm. وَلَئِن لَمْ يَفْعَلْ مَا آمُرُهُ, and if he doesn't do what I'm telling him to do, لَيُسْجَنَنَّ وَلَيَكُونَ مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ, he's going to be in prison, or he's going to be from amongst those who are low. Now, here we have an issue connected to language. لَيُسْجَنَنَّ, نعم, that's نون التوكيد الثقيلة. وَلَيَكُونَ, it's not written in our Musafs two noons, but this is noon al-tawqid al-khafifa. First, a noon al-tawqid al-thaqila has a shadda. La yusjananna. That noon there, emphasis, definitely he's going to go to jail. There's another emphasis, it's a noon, it doesn't have a shadda, it has a sukoon. But here they didn't write it as sukoon. How did they write it? As a tanween. And what is a tanween? Who's going to answer? What is tanween? Ya Abdullah. What's a tanween? What is it? Taya, but your teacher is shadid. Yeah, you get with the right answer. Naam, what's a noon? What is a tanween? Who's over here? Hi, Naam ya Aba Ibrahim. I see you between there. Naam, what is a tanween? Munir? Ahsan, barakallah fik. Noon sakin. Continue. Noon sakin, lafzan, la khattan. Is a noon sakin is just pronounced, it's not written down. A tanween is a noon that you pronounce it. Ya Ridwan, you with us? You pronounce it Muhammadan, Muhammadin, but it's not written. So here, this noon, ولا يكون من الساجد من الصاغرين. This is a noon ثقيلة. She's threatening him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says after this, وَالسُّؤَالَ عِنْدُكُمْ. If he doesn't do what I tell him to do, and she's giving them an ultimatum, you ever do the haram, or you go to prison. That's the ultimatum. Sometimes the youth that we're in, they're not given the ultimatum. They choose to do the haram and go to prison. But no ultimatum. You ever heard like a retired drug dealer? Like he sold drugs till he's like, oh, I did my time. And no, you even do that, you go to jail or you get killed. There's no third option. There's no retirement plan. And with that, people still trying. Because of what? Because their personality is weakened. They don't have that type of role model to make them stand up and say, no, me, I don't do that. No, he's weak personality. So we have to go out of our way to strengthen people's personality. That person that take that first puff of a cigarette, right? First puff. He's not even addicted yet. Now he's addicted, got to buy pack. When he first took that first puff, why? Because he's weak. That's all. He's weak. So we have to get these youth when they are young and make them have strong personalities. That they have hudud, they have restrictions, they have standards. It's called what? It's called integrity. For me, I don't do that. I have restrictions. I have borderlines. I don't go there. Nah. You have to have that internally, and it has to be created, has to be taught, has to be cultured, has to be nurtured. And that's your job. أيها الرجل, أيها الأخ, أيها الأب, your father, brother. Where's the uncles? You got uncles, you got nephews, you got brother, you got neighbors. It's your job. Just give them a right statement, positive statement. Yusuf says, "On رب السجن أحب إلي," and we're going to stop here. السؤال عندكم. رب السجن أحب إلي. Oh Allah, prison is more beloved to me. مما يدعونني إليه. مما يدعونني إليه. What they're calling me to. هذا السؤال. مما يدعونني إليه. What is this wow What is the first noon and what is the second noon? Mimma yad'unani ilay. What is this wow? Yad'un. What's that wow? Yad'unani. What's the first noon and what's the second noon? So we can understand it. If you don't understand it, you didn't understand the verse. Rabbi Sijinu. Ahabbu ilayya. Sijin is more beloved to me. Mimma yad'unani ilay. Ya Abba Sulaiman. Al wow. What is this wow? Mimma yad'unani. Ha. La. Yusuf. What is this wow? Ha. Masbuk ya akhana. Nah. Bilal. What's this wow? Who's gonna answer? Huh? Abdurrahman. Abdurrahman. What's this wow? This wow ya ikhwa. هو من أصل الكلمة. This is from the original kalima. Like you say da'wah. Da'wah has a wow in it. Yad'u. Who yad'u has a wow in it, right? Tayyib. Well, we finished that. This is from asl kalima. This is the wow that's in the word yad'u. It's the original wow. Yad'unani. What is this noon? What is this noon, ya Munir? Noon in Niswa. Al-Jama'ah. Meaning all of those women are calling him to Fahisha. All of them. ما قال مما تدعوني, what she's calling me to. نعم. مما يدعونني. On this noon and niswa, you just add a noon to the other word. You say يذهبنا. You add a noon to that ba. يجلسنا. Yeah, Abdul Ghani, you with me? يجلسنا. You add a noon to the end of the word. Right, Ya Abdul Rahman? نعم. يتكلمنا. You add a noon to the mean. That's the end of the word. Here, يدعون. You add a noon to the end of the word, which is a wow. That wow, aslul kalima, the end of the word. That noon is niswa. In all of those women are calling him to fast. But bisijnu ahabbu ilayya mimma yad'unani ilay. I mean, what they're calling me to. وَإِلَّا تَصْرِفْ عَنِّي كَيْدَهُمْ. If you don't turn away from me, their cave, أَصْبُ إِلَيْهِنَّ. I'm going to incline to them. This is Yusuf talking. If you don't turn their fitna away from me, I'm going to incline to them. وَأَكُنْ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ. What does this mean? أَكُنْ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ. قال أهل العلم كل من عصى الله فهو جاهل حتى ينزع عن معصيته. Everybody who disobeys Allah is ignorant. Like he forgot the hereafter. There's a hereafter, there's a hellfire. Like when he's in that sin, there's a mizan. He lost. He's gone. Nah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا التَّوْبَةُ عَلَى اللَّهِ لِلَّذِينَ يَعْمَلُونَ السُّوءَ بِجَهَالَةٍ ثُمَّ يَتُوبُونَ مِنْ قَرِيبٍ. ما معنى بِجَهَالَةٍ? Verily, the tawbah that Allah accepts is from those that do sin بجهالة. جهالة قال كتادة أجمع أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على أن كل ما أُسِيَ به الله فهو جهالة عمدا كان أو لم يكن وكل من عصى الله فهو جاهل. نعم. Qatada said all the companions of the Messenger have agreed that anything Allah has disobeyed with is jahala. Any act of disobedience is jahala, is ignorance, whether it's intentionally or not intentionally. And every disobedient one is ignorant. Ignorant one is disobedient. نعم. كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ليس الزاني المؤمن حين يزني أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. The believer, he's not a believer when he's fornicating. His iman is deficient. His man is deficient. So when somebody falls into sin, he's jahil. Allah mentions this in several ayahs. ثم إن ربك للذين عملوا السوء بجهالة ثم تابوا من بعد ذلك. Then your Lord with those who do bad deeds in jahala. Jahala meaning that they are everyone who falls into sin, they're ignorant when they fall into that sin. Meaning they forgot about the fire. They forgot about Allah. They forgot about His threat. They forgot about the halal. They forgot about everything. وقيل اليوم ننساكم كما نسيتم لقاء هذا لقاء هذا اليوم. نعم. Today we're going to forget you just like you forgot this day. نعم. So we're going to stop here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says on Yusuf, رب السجن أحب إلي مما يدعونني إليه. Oh my Lord, prison is more beloved to me than what they're calling to me. And if you don't turn away from me in their plot, I'm going to incline towards them and be from amongst the ignorant, meaning the sinful. فَاسْتَجَابَ لَهُ رَبُّهُ فَصَرَفَ عَنْهُ كَيْدَهُنَّ. Allah answered his call and turned their plot away from him. إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. He's the all-hearing. He's the all-knowing. ثُمَّ بَدَا لَهُم مِّن بَعْدِ مَا رَأَوُا الْآيَاتِ. Then it came clear to them. It came clear to them لَا يَسْجُنُنَّهُ حَتَّى حِينٍ, that they're going to put Yusuf in prison until the stated time, because this woman, she admitted her sin and they wanted to cover it up. This is where we're going to stop. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.